My name's Frank, and I'm the head of EMEA Marketing at Dotdigital. And thank you for joining me for my session, which is titled If Data is the New Oil, Why Am I Not Rich? So I'm just going to share my screen and then we'll get started. Just before I start, just a little bit about Dotdigital. So we are a best of breed CXDP platform that turns data insight into action. We have scale. We work with 4,000, should I say, plus brands all over the world, and we have 400 employees and counting. We've been growing and evolving for 25 years, and we have a wealth of experience and expertise to help our customers achieve their marketing goals. And if you're wondering a little bit about me, well, as I mentioned, my name's Frank. I've spent the last sort of 5 years working with a wide range of companies to help them drive customer acquisitions and build customer loyalty. One of the things I'm most passionate about is helping brands create meaningful relationships with their customers. I believe that loyalty is not just about rewards and discount, it's about creating emotional connections with customers that go beyond transactions. So to set the scene, I'm sure none of these are going to be a shock to you, but moving into 2023, I'm hearing that brands are facing the following challenges. The first is increased competition. There's still a huge number of brands that are entering the market, and it can make it difficult for existing brands to stand out, or those that are struggling to potentially connect with their customers. Customer acquisition, attracting new customers has never been more expensive. The price of digital real estate has gone up massively in the past few years, keeping up, especially through traditional channels. As a marketer myself, I have this bugbear all the time. Customer retention, so retaining customers, we know that that's the focus that we should be doing, but brands can customers are tempted with other brands, they have other temptations. Better value for money can be hard to keep hold of customers and keep customers loyal. And that's all because consumer behavior is changing so much. So the constantly evolving environment is making it hard for brands to keep up with consumer behavior. So hopefully some of these resonate with you. Hopefully not all of them, but just to know that if you are feeling any of these challenges, you're definitely not alone. So where am I going with this? So data is the new oil was a phrase coined by a guy called Clive Humby in 2006, used to describe how data can be valuable and how companies can use it. Fast forward to 2023, many organizations have realized the role that process data, what that can play in gaining a competitive advantage. So I'm going to spend the next sort of 15 minutes showing you how you can take your customer data and how you can turn that into customer revenue. And that all comes from building loyalty by means of personalization, automation, and creating multi-channel campaigns. So the bedrock of all of this is customer data. Customer data, put simply, is information you receive or about your customer whenever they interact with you. Customer data is a cornerstone of a successful marketing strategy, especially a retention and loyalty marketing strategy. Types of data we can see on screen here include things like personal and demographic data, on-site behavioral data, engagement data, transactional data, mobile and device data. The moral of the story is there's always data sources that are coming from your customer, however they're interacting with your business, whether you're in an e-commerce, whether you're in charities and memberships, whether you're a law firm, you're getting some level of data on part of every time that customer is making that interaction with your brand. So why is it important to utilize customer data, and why is it key for retention marketing? Well, it's going to provide you with actionable insights. You're going to receive information about your customers based on their behavior and your customer preferences, and you can use this to increase your customer engagement. It's going to improve that customer experience. A better customer experience is facilitated by customer data. That can lead to increased customer satisfaction and loyalty. Increasing efficiency in ROI, being able to understand your customer data better helps you to identify and target the most valuable customers, increasing that return on investment. And finally, It's going to help you make data-driven decisions. And that's what the underpinning of this is. Understanding your customer data allows you to go into your marketing campaigns and your marketing strategy with a little bit more context, understanding what your customers are expecting from you. And that all comes from customer data. So one of my favorite ways to demonstrate how customer data can help with smart segmentation is RFM. So those of you who don't know RFM, it stands for recency, frequency, and monetary. And it's that model that creates some distinct personas or sectors. Segments, should I say. Using customer engagement platforms, you can do this quite quickly, and being biased, Dotdigital allows you to do this very simply. But I was going to talk to you a little bit about, what the theory is behind creating these segments. So we're taking the data from how recent somebody's interacted with us, how frequently they make that interaction with us, and any of costs associated with that interaction. That in turn creates lots of different segments, but I've picked out 3 here, and they are recent, needs nurturing, and inactive. So the idea here is that our marketing is going to differ depending on these different segments. You're not going to treat them all the same. So recent, they've got that sort of buyer's high. They've had that interaction with you. Hopefully that's been a positive one. It's a great time to ask for feedback. Ensure you're doing that sort of things you can use for UGC, getting user-generated content. Can also be an opportunity to enroll people into any VIP or loyalty programs based on that sort of buyer's high that they have. Then we've got needs nurturing. So those that maybe haven't had that touch point in a while, maybe haven't sort of engaged with your business in a relatively long period of time. Again, you can choose what those parameters are. These can be enticed back with an offer of some sorts. Tell them more about your brand and your values. Potentially, you can offer them a free service. You can offer them a percentage discount if you've got sort of any transactional, if you're doing any transactions in your business. Something to entice them back to interacting with you. And then finally, we've got inactive. So these guys, they're sort of sitting in the background, haven't really interacted with you, maybe have sort of subscribed by mistake or done a one-off purchase. One thing you could try and do is reach out to them to check their preferences are up to date. Have you sort of misprofiled them? Are they sort of more of a gifter as a regular buyer? Are they maybe not a decision maker? Being able to check and get them to reset their preferences is a nice touch point and it could engage them. Now, full disclosure, you may get some unsubscribes, but they're absolutely healthy for your database, making sure that those that are subscribed to you are getting personalized messages. Which brings me nicely onto personalization. So we've got our customer data. It's now what we're going to do with our customer data. You're probably going to hear me mention this a few times in this session, but some people believe that personalized emails, if you're going to personalize every single email, that feels like a lot of hard work. As time poor marketers, we don't have the time to create unique emails for every customer. But we all know that that's not the case. It might require a bit of upfront planning than your basic campaigns, but the revenue potential with personalization is huge. It's well worth it. And most customer engagement platforms like Dotdigital will make that as easy as possible for marketers. The basic fundamentals of personalization in marketing are that communications are timely and they're relevant. Now, while that's might have been cutting edge 5 or 10 years ago, marketing technology has advanced so much that it's no longer an issue of sending out emails based on the most popular opening times. It's about, from a timely perspective, communicating on a one-to-one level with your customers based on triggered actions. So every sort of triggered action that you have has a personalized experience, and that can all be crafted depending on your customer life cycle. With relevancy, you really have no excuses now to deliver that engaging and dynamic experience in your content, in your comms, because of the rich sources of data that you're sitting on, whether that's sort of internally in your CRM or any third party or first party data. Customers are leaving more breadcrumbs around when it comes to their data, and a good personalized experience uses these breadcrumbs to cut through a cluttered inbox or a social feed. Welcome emails are a really great tactic to use some personalization if you're toying with it. If you haven't got a welcome email set up, please do get that onto your strategy for later this year. That's so important, because Welcome emails are about 86% more effective than standard emails, and that percentage is huge. Welcome emails, potentially unsurprisingly, are more effective because they're expected. You're wanting to get that window into your brand. But if you're not sure where to start, or you're thinking of tweaking your welcome program, the main takeaway here is first impressions count. A welcome email is that window to your brand. It introduces who you are and what you're about. Welcoming people into a community is definitely what that email should do. Be sure to use personalization if you are collecting that data. So if you're collecting first name, just go and use it. It's a nice data exchange. It makes that person on the other end feel valued and more than just an email address. I mentioned introducing the brand and community. That works really well there. Offers are great. If you have any offers, introductory offers to your business, product, or service, that's really, really great. That can go in there. But ultimately, all having a really strong call to action. Now we're moving on to automation. Uh, so automation, I'm sure we all know what automation is. We probably should be doing a bit more of it. We probably think that having the time to set up some automations. But uh, what I want to show you is that how automation can really help drive that customer revenue. Customer segmentation as the RFM example, but being able to use smart segmentation with your engagement platform to create segments to market to differently. Like I said, it's not a one size fits all. It's creating segments in the back end that will constantly top up based on data actions that your customers will do that can receive bespoke marketing. These could be a form of address books or dynamic segments. Automated follow-ups like abandoned carts and browses and product recommendations are really great ways to protect or secure otherwise lost revenue. It's a great simple thing that you can set up in the background with a bit of script that can give that gentle reminder should somebody not complete an action on your website. Loyalty programs, if you have any loyalty programs, are great in an automation campaign. If you've got anything around points or stamps, that can work really, really well. I think as soon as you automate and you templatize, you can create a great brand consistency, which helps sell in your brand, build that community, especially for recent customers. Just a quick example about how that works in practice. I've got two examples here. One from Revolve. So what they guys have done there is something that I've left in my basket. What they went and did in saying that a lot of people are looking at my product, and that sort of creates something that I've been borrowing. The phrase I've been borrowing called positive friction. So I'm thinking, oh goodness, a lot of people are looking at the browsed item that I had. I must check out. It must be popular. It creates that positive friction. They even went as far as to say later in that email, if that wasn't the right thing for you, having some product recommendations based on what other people have bought as well. So it's just creating those additional steps to continue that journey and protect that revenue. Skull Candy, they went, let's try on a different channel. Let's go in on an SMS. We've got, here's what you left in the basket. Check out now. And there's a call to action to complete that purchase. Product recommendations, they're an e-commerce favorite, and they can work really, really well for marketers, increase sales effortlessly, and give that visibility to product ranges across your marketing campaigns. I'm sure a lot of you, if you're in e-commerce, are doing this already, but it's about surfacing new products, cross-selling products to customers based on the behavior that they have. So using that customer data to drive revenue from your customers. Here is a couple of Dotdigital customer examples, which I love talking about. So here we've got Philip Kingsley. They're using purchase data to suggest a repeat purchase. They've sort of worked out how long one of these products would last on average, and then they're sort of reaching out to their customer to get them to buy again, to replenish, if you will. And they've got a nice GIF, which makes that headline pop. Nutri Advance, they have set up a timely follow-up based on a recent purchase, should I say, for a lookalike to cross-sell. So sort of a week later, potentially something that goes well with the purchase that they've made. And then Paul Smith, they're showcasing their best sellers. It's useful in a welcome program when you have no prior purchase data or no sort of customer data. You're still building that. It's a good way to keep things relevant and on point. And Finally, I'm just going to tie all this together from multi-channel. So multi-channel marketing is so crucial in 2023. Even it wasn't before, absolutely now it's about cutting through the noise. Allowing businesses to reach customers on multiple platforms and devices is key. Capturing their attention and building that relationship with them will ultimately drive more revenue. By leveraging a combination of channels, businesses can create a more comprehensive marketing strategy. By using that combination of channels, you're going to be able to create more impactful and personalized marketing experiences. This in turn increases that customer engagement and the conversions, as well as stronger relationships with your business and its customers. And you guessed it, loyalty. But many brands still haven't embraced that multi-channel marketing strategy. Um, we do a report published last year called Hitting the Mark. We looked at 100 brands globally, and 18 of those brands were doing multi-channel. So there's a huge, almost 80% of them weren't doing multi-channel marketing, and only 11% of those were using SMS, which is a crazy stat considering how impactful SMS can be. Customers are now spending, customers that spend are spending 3.5 times more with brands that engage them on multiple channels. So the opportunity there is amazing. So lots of information there, lots to talk through, and hopefully lots of principles that you can extrapolate for your business. But to answer the question, if data is the new oil, why am I not rich? Well, if you take your customer data and you add in levels of personalization with your data, you automate using your customer data, and you can create a multi-channel marketing strategy, you can drive loyalty revenue from your customers and hopefully feel a little bit more rich. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for listening. These are my details on the side here. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, scanning their QR code, or just searching Frank Brooks, or check out the Dotdigital website. We've got loads and loads of information and lots of content to help you boss your marketing goals and set your strategy. That's dotdigital.com. Thank you very much, and I will see you soon.